Hello guys and welcome back to Excelsior Academy. So today we are going to do lecture 6 on genome structure, chromatin and the nucleosome of the Watson summary series. So in this we are going to talk about mitosis and meiosis. In the previous lectures we talked about centromeres, telomeres, the origin of replication, genome size, the paradox, the complexity of the organism's level, etc. So in this we will talk about the mitosis. So here mitosis maintains the parental chromosome number. So now what happens in the mitosis? Before mitosis, the chromosomes are in the decondensed state called interphase. So here your chromosomes is actually in the chromatin thread, right? So those are the chromatin thread what we see in the interphase, which is not clear, right? Now this can be easily visualized using a dye called DAPI. Guys, please remember, whenever you want to understand and study, visualize DNA of any cell, then DAPI is the dye which you are going to use it. Okay, so make sure you make notes on this, get the full form and how exactly at what wavelength it is going to get excited, everything you need to know. If still you're not able to get the information, then please comment me in the comment section so that I can give you the information. Okay, now what happens over here? See the figure also, you can see over here the chromosomes are in the decondensed form, and then you can have, so centromeres already have starts dividing. Now in the prophase, chromosomes are condensed and detangled in preparation for the segregation. इसका मतलब क्या हो रहा है, यहाँ पे अभी chromosomes आपके compact हो रहे हैं and धीरे धीरे अलग अलग separate होने के लिए वो तैयारी कर रहे हैं, ठीक है. And the nuclear membrane surrounding the chromosomes breaks down in the most eukaryotes. Now this is also there. Now when you talk about nuclear membrane surrounding, how exactly this is happening? So you need to remember that the nuclear membrane is made of proteins called lamins. Now what is lamins? Lamins are your intermediate filaments. Okay. Now what kind of lamins are present? You have got three types of lamins which are present. So A and C form the protofilaments, and B1 and B2 are there, which goes and holds the lamin A and C. So please go through and study. If not possible, then go to the playlist in the CSR of my channel Excelsior Academy, and in that, in the cell biology, already we have discussed about the lamins. Okay, so in detail it is there how exactly the nuclear membrane gets disrupted and how it is finally formed at the end of the mitosis. Now coming to the metaphase. So after prophase, the next is the metaphase. So now in the metaphase, each sister chromatid pair attaches to opposite poles of the mitotic spindle. Okay, so this is your plate, so where the chromosomes are getting so here what happens, so this is what monovalent attachment if you have got the one centromere. Okay, now it is important. So one centromere is a monovalent attachment, means only one spindle fiber has been attached to the chromosome. Bivalent means both the spindle fibers from this direction and this direction has been attached. Okay, now this is in the ideal case. Otherwise, if you have two centromeres, what will happen? So there are chances that the chromosomes will break. Okay. Now, remember what are these spindle fibers? They are made up of microtubules. So guys, whenever you study whatever word is coming, like let's talk about microtubules. So आपको मालूम होना चाहिए microtubules क्या है. So they are made up of alpha, beta globulin, right? So what are those, how exactly it is formed? So ये सब आपको मालूम होना चाहिए, so that whenever you're preparing for your exam, आपको एक ही बार में सब कुछ पढ़ना पड़ जाए, ठीक है. So whenever you doing this thing, make short notes. If not, if you're not able to remember, make short notes over there and then study. Okay, so that's my strategy, my advice for you guys. Now, anaphase. Now, after prophase, metaphase, the third stage is the anaphase. So, what is happening in the anaphase? So, it is initiated by the loss of sister chromatin cohesion, resulting in the separation of sister chromatids. In the previous lecture, we talked about these two type of proteins, right? So, we talked about cohesion and we also talk about condensins. So what was the function of condensin? Its function was to compact, to make the chromosome compact in structure, and cohesion का क्या काम था? To keep the two sister chromatids together. ठीक है? So both of these two proteins belong to SMC category, family of proteins. What is SMC? Structural maintenance of chromosome protein. So guys, please remember. Now, what was the difference between the cohesion and the condensin? So cohesion was made up of 2 and 4 times, whereas condensin was made up of SMC 1 and 3. So if you don't remember, go back to the previous lecture, lecture 5. In that, a very beautiful pictorial differentiation has been given of both cohesion and the condenser. Okay, so in the anaphase, the cohesion is getting proteolized. Okay, so if you go back in the previous lectures and all, you will see that this cohesion is being cleaved by the enzyme called separase. Okay, so this enzyme gets activated during the cell cycle, and this is going to proteolyze the cohesion protein. Now, coming to the telophase, the fourth stage, that is the fourth stage of the mitosis. So in this, it is distinguished by the loss of chromosome condensation and the reformation of the nuclear membrane around the two populations of segregated chromosomes. So यहाँ पे आप क्या देखेंगे कि the length of the cell has been increased, centrioles are reached in the opposite, right? And both the chromosomes have been equally divided in the opposite poles, and you can see that the nuclear membrane is getting reappear. Okay, so ये वापस आने लग गया है. Now cytokinesis is nothing but the cell division. So it is the final event of the cell cycle during which the cellular membrane surrounding the two nuclear constricts and eventually completely separates in two daughter cells. Now यहाँ पे एक सवाल आप पूछ सकते हैं कि यहाँ पे क्या है जो help करता है cytokinesis में. So from the previous lectures, if you're following my lectures, then you will know that it is because of the action of actin or the myosin to proteins. Okay, so this is the action of these proteins because of which the cytokinesis are taking place. Now at the end, what is happening? Again, these daughter cells which are identical, they will have the double-stranded DNA molecules and they will go back to the interphase. Okay, so इसका मतलब क्या हुआ? यहाँ पे एटलीस्ट एक सेल साइकिल आपका कंप्लीट हो चुका है. Now, attachment of both chromatids to microtubules emanating from the same microtubule organization center or attachment of only one chromatid of the pair called monovalent does not result in tension. इसका मतलब क्या हो रहा है? See, already you have chromosome over here. Now, suppose spindle fibers are coming, okay, and it is attaching over here. So this is not going to bring the tension. What kind of tension is needed? The separation of these chromosomes, chromatids in the opposite direction it is needed. But if it is attached only to one side, what will happen? There is no push to this direction and this direction. Only this direction it is there. So this entire chromosome will go into this direction. So it will not result in the tension. So that's why instead of monovalent, I want bivalent attachment. Okay. So if bivalent attachment does not occur subsequently, monovalent attachment could lead to both copies of chromosome moving into one daughter cell. So another cell will become aneuploidy. Okay. Hope this is clear. Now, the tension exerted by the bivalent attachment is opposed by sister chromatid cohesion and results in all of the chromosomes aligning in the middle of the cell between the two microtubule organizing centers, which is called the metaphase plate. So what exactly they're talking about over here? So if you have got the chromosomes like this, okay, let us say that there are two chromosomes in the cell. Now, the spindle fibers are going to attach over here and attach over here, right? So this is called your bivalent attachment. Now, among this, we also have cohesion proteins which are holding the two sister chromatids together. So the action of these spindle fibers in this direction, that is in the opposite direction, plus keeping the protein together intact. So both of these kinds of forces is resulting into the tension. And it is the action of these two, the action of spindle fibers as well as the cohesion. These are keeping your chromosomes into one single alignment, that is which is called the metaphase plate. Okay, so if in the question comes like what are the proteins which are involved in alignment of the chromosomes at the metaphase plate, then you need to talk about the spindle fibers as well as the cohesion proteins. Okay, so I hope this is clear, and this can be also said in the interview question also they can ask. So how exactly you're going to prove, and also if you remember the basic concepts, then you can design any experiment. Okay, so moving on. So chromosome segregation is triggered by proteolytic destruction of the cohesion molecules, and because of which what will happen now, the sister chromatids can move into the opposite directions, which is going to happen in the anaphase. Now, once the two sisters are no longer held together, they cannot resist the outward pull of the microtubule. So they can go and move into the opposite directions. So because of this action only, each cell receives one copy of the duplicated chromosome. So this we already know, right? Now at the final step of the mitosis is the telophase, during which the nuclear envelope reforms, and around each of the segregated daughter chromosomes are there. Okay. Now, finally, the cytokinesis happens. So this already we talked about. Now, coming to the gap phases. So if you remember, in any cell cycle, there are two gap phases are there. Okay. Now, those are called G1 and G2. So now what happens in the G1? So G1 occurs before DNA synthesis, that is before your S phases, and G2 occurs between the S and the M phase, or you can otherwise say that it occurs before the M phase. Now, what is the function of these gap phases? So their main goals are to prepare for the next phase of the cell cycle. Now, let us say that the cell is going to enter the S phase. So before S phase, we have got G1. So यहाँ पे G1 का क्या काम होगा? To ensure that all the proteins which is required for DNA replication are ready. That is all the machinery, all the proteins, the nutrients availability, everything is ready. Then only the cell will enter into the S phase. Okay. Similarly, the function of G2 is to make sure that the cells are ready to enter the M phase. That is, there is no DNA damage, or if at all there is a damage in the DNA, it can undergo repair before it gets entry into the M phase. Because once it gets into the M phase, and suppose there's a DNA damage, what will happen? One of the daughter cell is going to get the damaged DNA, and that will result into chaotic events. For example, either the cell will undergo apoptosis, or if not, if there is accumulation of these mistakes, what will happen? Of course, yes, it will result into the cancer cell. Okay. So, for example, before the entry into the S phase, most cells must reach a certain size and level of protein synthesis to ensure that the adequate amounts of proteins and nutrients are present to complete the next round of DNA synthesis. Okay. So suppose there is a problem, it will arrest the cell cycle and it will repair for the damage. So this is what we have discussed over here. Okay, now coming to the meiosis. So meiosis, we know that it reduces the parental chromosome number, and that's how we get the haploid cells. Okay, now coming to the meiosis. So similar to mitosis, meiosis can also be divided into discrete stages. Okay, so here after DNA replication, the homologous sister chromatids pair with each other to form the structures with 4 related chromosomes. So iska kya matlab ho raha hai? So usually during the mitosis, we have chromosome like this. Okay, and to this only the spindle fibers goes attached and respective sister chromatid goes into the opposite direction. Now, whereas in the case of meiosis, there is a homologous pairing and recombination happening. Now, why homologous pairing is happening? Because these chromosomes, one copy you get from your father and one copy you get from the mother. Since they are belonging to the same category, the same type of chromosomes are there, so they get pairing. So that is why it is homologous pairing is happening. Now, because of the certain differences in both the chromosomes, they can undergo the recombination. Okay. So what is happening? So you have got the two copies like this. So they get paired like this, and then one goes to the one pole and the other will go to the another pole. Okay, so this is a major difference between the meiosis and the mitosis. So during pairing, chromatids from the different homologs recombine to form a link between the homologous chromosomes called the chiasma. Now, once this happens during metaphase, the two kinetochores of each sister chromatids pair to one pole of the meiotic spindle. So now you can see that over here you can see that the recombination has taken place, right? So, and then now it goes to the opposite poles. So this is similar to your mitosis. You can see it goes to the opposite poles. And then again, what happens? The cells gets divided. Now in the meiosis 2. So let's see over here what is given. So homologous sister chromatid kinetose attached to the opposite poles, creating a tension that is resisted by the chiasma between the homologs and the cohesion between the sister arms. Now, once it enters the anaphase 1, the cohesion has been removed, right? So what will happen? They will be pulled to the opposite poles. Now, only the thing is the sister chromatids are held by the cohesion molecules. Now, for this, it will enter the meiosis 2. Now, this is very much similar to the mitosis. So, what will happen? It will go into the metaphase plate, and the cohesion molecules will be proteolytically degraded. And then again, the spindle fibers are going to attach to the centromere kinetochore, and then it will be pulled to the opposite. So, at the end, what is happening? You're going to get single copy of your chromosomes. And at the end, all the gametes containing the DNA is going to be double-stranded. So what you can see over here is that this is parental, and this is recombinant. Okay. Now, so this was all about mitosis and meiosis. Now, how exactly, what made us to understand mitosis and meiosis at this different level? So this was all done with the help of the microscopy. So let it be electron microscope or fluorescent microscope or any other kind of phase contrast microscope. So all these microscopy, the main beautiful thing about this was that we were able to study, distinguish very nicely among the chromosomes, and we were also able to detect any abnormalities were present. So suppose, uh, see, like in India, many a times whenever there is a match making is done, so always they go with the horoscope, whereas in abroad in many cases, like in India also, many people have started to go with the genetic compatibility. So what they do is that they see whether they have something like, if they suppose they go for the marriage, and if they if they try to have the offspring, so they check whether in future the probability of getting any genetic disorder is high or no. Okay. So instead of having this horoscope match and just checking that whether the couples are compatible or not, it is always better to go for the genetic compatibility, because with this checking, with this genetic compatibility checking, you are actually eliminating the risk of having your offspring with any genetic disorder. So let it be either cancer or diabetes or obesities, all these are now genes related. So if you know that in your family all these problems are there, but if your partner is not having any such disorders or the history like that, then you can go for it. It's just imagine the person to whom you love is also having the history of all the genetic disorders, and you yourself is having, so there are high chances that your offspring is going to get the genetic disorder. So instead of ruining your life in taking care of that kind of offspring, it's always better not to have. Okay. Yeah. So this was all done with the help of the microscopy, and the microscopy actually really helps in doing the karyotyping, and with the karyotyping the doctors are able to understand whether the genes are good or not. Okay. The chromosomes are good or not. If any abnormalities are there, then the chances are that the baby is going to have the genetic disorder. Okay. So microscopy has long been used to observe chromosome structure and function. The compact nature of condensed mitotic and meiotic chromosomes makes them relatively easy to visualize. Okay, so because of this, visualization became very easy. It was really easy to understand and determine the chromosomal makeup of the human cells, and also to understand if any chromosomal deletions are there or not. Now, if you see over here, so this is how the interface looks like. So this is your entire DNA part is there. Okay, now you can see the 30 nanometer fiber. So this is when the DNA is in the form of solenoid fiber. So it is wrapped with the nucleosomes and all, and very compacted structure it is present. Okay. Or when it is in the M phase, you can see how exactly it is given. So small thread-like structure is given. It is compacted very nicely with the nucleosomes. So about the nucleosomes, we are going to study in the upcoming lectures, and we'll study how beautifully the DNA gets compacted with the help of these nucleosomal proteins. So that's all for today. So thank you guys for listening. If any doubts are there, you can ask me anytime in the Telegram channel by name Exposure Academy, or you can also comment me in the comment section. So guys, if you like the video, if you're happy with the Watson summary series, please let me also know, so that I can also start with the other reference books, or you can also suggest me like Karp or Albert Bruce or Cooper, any series. If you're interested, just let me know, so that I can start that particular series also for you guys to prepare for your entrance exams. So all the best, guys. Thank you for listening. Like and share, and also please subscribe if not subscribe the channel by name Exposure Academy. Thank you.